Hello everybody, welcome back to the Commonwealth. Welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I've got a ton I got to get off of my chest today, including 2 negative feedback in consecutive days. Absolutely crazy. A ton of other stuff that I can't wait to talk about, but we have 22 things headed out of here today for I think just under 800 bucks. I got to show you those as well, and the dogs are waiting for me. Let's go take a look. Yep, Mama's gone. We need some treats, huh? So this is supposed to be the day where I talk about the January numbers to see if I'm anywhere close where I need to be for the $250,000 goal this year. But this feedback has kind of trumped it a little bit, so we're going to talk about that and a little bit of controversy as well. So we're going to do feedback, controversy, and then we'll deal with the January numbers on the next video. But of course we have to do some sales. I wish the Medusa sold, but it didn't. This Pillsbury Doughboy sold. I bought a bunch for $3, and I would never really pay. I can't get that out with one hand. All right, I got it. So I would never really pay $3 a piece for Funkos and buy a whole bunch of them. It's just a little too much, and it's just not worth the time. A lot of them sit. But I bought a bunch what I thought were good ones at a sale for $3, and we have made some money on those. This one and this one is the only one left, so technically that is the only one left. And there was hundreds of them, and I picked out like 10 because a lot of them don't sell. $14.95 plus shipping. Next one is like a RC type boat. I think it is RC anyways, that I've had for a while. It's sold on 30% off, I believe. And I think this is it. The box was kind of old. We are going to get to the feedback right after this one. And it just dawned on me that I had another topic I wanted to talk about. All right, I looked at it. It's actually not 30% off. I'm going to show you a picture of this one because I can unbox it, I guess. And that other topic was the SKU system. Holy moly, people were mad at me for the SKU system thing. A lot of people get heated about it, and it's not worth getting heated over, but I do want to talk about it because I don't think people understand my system. Not that I don't advocate for my system. I'd actually advocate against it, but this is the system that works best for me. And we're going to talk about that on another episode. Phillips 66, like a, I don't know, power yacht. I don't even remember where I got this one from. I think it was a house clean out. I'm not sure. Might have been in some of the stuff I bought from Death Pile. And $34.95 plus shipping. Okay, they're both still up. One of the people said, oh, I'm sorry, and said that they will remove it. I'm going to tell you that story first. The other one, I'm waiting to hear back. So arrows, I sold some arrows. You may remember me selling these arrows. Let's see, gold tip arrows, Hunter Pro. $49.95 plus shipping. I bought them at a sale on the Commonwealth Picker channel not too long ago. And the person said, because I sold them as new, right? And the box, I think I sold them as new. I don't even know if I did. But the box wasn't perfect, but everything was sealed. So I was like, okay. Arrows were cut to 28 inches and are rather short with knocks installed. Not happy. I don't even know what a knock is, but whatever. So this person sent that message. They never sent me a message before. They sent that feedback. And so I sent a message to them because I didn't open the dang thing because it was sealed. I just assumed what was in there was in there, and that's what I told them. And I was like, hey, I'll be happy to return or whatever. And then they sent me a message back like, I don't know, 6-8 hours later. And they're like, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun on this. I didn't realize that this was the length they were supposed to be. They are in new condition. And I shouldn't have sent that feedback. I'm like, that's not what I expected at all. And they said, can I revise my feedback? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I sent them a revision request, and they have not done it yet, but I think they will. And even if they don't, if you have that in a message, when you get with eBay, we should do a video on how to actually do this. I hear so many different things, and there is a way to actually contact eBay. Or let's put it this way, to automatically do your own request, not a request for revision, but a request to eBay for a feedback withdrawal. So we'll talk about that. Let me double check and make sure I've sent this thing because he said he would do it. By the way, those 2 negative feedbacks took me to a total of 5 for the year. 2 of them I think are about ready to drop off. And I'm going to talk about this first here. V-Friends, that's 99.6% by the way. We have a lot of volume, so there's going to be a negative every once in a while. V-Friends, Gary V, I've told us, I don't know if I told this story anymore. I don't think I will today. I have so much to talk about. I actually bought this on Whatnot, and let me tell you why. As many of you know, I used to do Whatnot. I have not done Whatnot in, I don't even know how long. It's been a long time. And I go back over there every once in a while, and the old link that I used to have, people go on there, and then I get a little bit of money to spend. Usually what I do is I go find a friend of mine, reseller over there, and I spend my credit money in their store or on their live just to help them out, and I'll get a few things merchandise-wise. But I went on this one day, and I had some credit, and I didn't have anybody on there that was selling that I knew. So I saw the Gary V thing pop up, and I'm like, I bet I could be able to sell this stuff. And I bought it with credit money from Whatnot, and we sold it. And it sold for $37.95 plus shipping. So 1,400 feedback. I'm going to read you the second one in a second, and I have 5 negative feedback. One is going to drop off very soon. The guy already agreed to it, and I'll just, he probably just got off the internet. He'll come back and do it. I'll be shocked if that one's not removed. The second one I think will be removed as well. Both via feedback revision from the buyer. Both people, I think, are more than satisfied. The one guy is way more than satisfied because he made the mistake and he realized it, which was good for me. I did something fairly smart today. I went and got all the stuff hanging inside and brought it out here so I didn't have to go back and forth. And there's a reason for that as well. Hawaiian Tropic. This is actually pretty awesome. I got this thing from the sale in Tennessee years ago. I put a big price on it. Hanes Beefy T tag, made in the USA, single stitch with the pocket and logo here and on the back, plus it says Daytona. Somebody wants to wear this for spring break, and this thing sold for $40, which is kind of nuts really, but I love it, plus shipping. The reason I don't want to go in and out of the eBay cave today inside is because construction has finally begun on the floors. We decided we're going to do a few more things. If you watch the video where my house got flooded, they're finally working on it. And the house is just a disaster. And the basement's an even bigger disaster. But we decided at the same time, since we had a crew in here to fix all that, we were going to we have a drop ceiling down there that's in terrible shape. Has been since we moved in. And we're like, let's do the drop ceiling and redo it again. And my wife, once I started opening up that, she's like, how about a new light down there? How about this? How about this? And I'm like, well, you know what? It'll be cheaper now because they're already here and the labor costs, and it's not a whole new project. So we're doing it. So we're spending all that insurance money plus a lot more. Plus I got her a bed. That's a different story. Man, I got a lot to talk about today. Let's read this feedback. Cap, this was a, let me look at it here. Carl Vincent CVN 70 hat. The core US Navy one size fits all hat. And I listed it as new. I didn't do this listing. I have since talked to my wife, and she does, like I said, I don't want to act like I'm critical of my wife in here when I say these things. But sometimes she'll put something a different way than I'll do it. This hat was crispy, clean, perfect. It was new, okay? So that's why she did it that way. I would have listed this one as pre-owned. And the reason is because, well, there's a few different reasons. Let me read this and I think you'll get it. And I'm not being critical of her. She helps me so much. I could not do what I do without her. So Cap was advertised as new, having served aboard the Carl Vincent and owning many ships, ball caps, many different ships, ball caps. This was not a new hat. The bill or visor had been bent or curved at one time. And there was, in other words, at one time there was a bend. It's flat. But he's saying it was curved and now it's flat. I don't know, whatever. And there was added an aftermarket plastic device to keep the hat from standing straight due to being washed at some point. Okay. I don't know. Maybe so. So this guy's obviously a veteran and whatever. He doesn't have many purchases on eBay at all. And I want to make sure the buyers are happy. And especially if it's somebody, I was on this thing. This is not a scammer here, okay? And so I sent him a message and I'm like, I'm very sorry. We should have listed it as pre-owned. I'm not aware of how these hats come. Obviously you are from having served. Thank you for your service and all those things. And he sent me a message and I said, hey, I'll be happy to return this thing for you and give you all your money back. I offered a partial refund, which I never do unless the situation really dictates it. And I said, hey, what would you would you consider a partial refund if you want to keep it? I'll do either one of those two things. And he sent a message back and said thank you, and that he would do a partial refund. And I think it's right about half. So we're going to send him a partial refund on this and let him keep the hat, which is not something, like I said, once in a blue moon that I'll do. And, you know, he put the negative feedback right on here. And sometimes that's a telltale sign of somebody. Well, sometimes it isn't, right? They ask for that partial refund before they do this, and then they do this and use that as whatever. But this person wasn't trying to scam anybody. So it sold for really good money anyways. I was happy. It was $1 hat. I'm going to still make 10, 12 bucks on this thing after I do this. And I will, after I do that, as soon as I send the refund, which I'm going to do right now, actually, because I just got off of the computer upstairs. I should have done it then. I will ask him if he's willing to do a feedback revision. I always look up here for the Care Bears first, which goes back to my SKU system. Or non-existent SKU system. But I'll explain that on the next video, or two from now, I guess. I think this one's called Friendship Bear, right? Like I said, I normally won't pay $4 for these. They had them priced $5, but they had a whole ton of them. They had some good ones in there too that we sold for around $24 and some at $19. And these are going for $14.95. I paid $4 a piece, which is, like I said, I like to pay no more than $2, but these were flawless. These are just in great condition. And they're the old ones, which are cool. The 2000 ones, actually, 2003 ones, is that what they are? They go pretty decent as well. But you know what? 4 into 15 isn't amazing, but daggone it, they're Care Bears, and there were some better ones, so to get a lot deal was worth it. So we're making around 10 bucks on those, maybe just a little under, plus shipping. I think I said that wrong. $14.95 plus shipping. I was talking about the profit. But uh-oh, dogs are barking at something out there. We're going to talk a little bit about a controversial thing that happened. It's not really controversial, but man, I got blasted in a Commonwealth picker video for something. And in case people read the comments and got the wrong idea, I want to clarify it, because what one person said, actually many people said, but one person in particular said over there just simply isn't true. If you watch my other channel over there, the Commonwealth Picker channel, the picking channel over there, we did a video where I bought a ton of Betty Boop stuff. And I want to clarify two things about that. One of the things has to do with a lunchbox, a Betty Boop lunchbox that we got that had $20 cash in it. And I did not know it did. This is Tupperware, obviously, nothing amazing. I wouldn't sell these as a single. It'd take too long, not enough money. But I had two, and they were clean. I was like, what the heck. One of them had an issue, I think. Yeah, you see that right there? The other one doesn't. $12.95 plus shipping. I'm into them literally for pennies. First thing, people were critical of me for scooping up a deal that Mike Deathpile Picker was over there with me. And I got to tell you, that I don't think most people understand the relationship when we're out picking. And it did probably look to some people like that's what I was doing. He was asking about the thing. He was probably hemming and hawing if he wanted it. But in the end, he knew he really didn't want that one. Just a few yard sales before, it didn't appear on this video, but it appeared on the previous video or two back. You know, we go out and we film these. I'll go out yard selling for hours and we make 2-3 videos out of them sometimes. Like I was down in Florida and 3 days, probably made 8-9 videos easily. So that stuff happens that people don't see. Earlier in the day, I came across a huge video game haul. And Mike was behind me. He was driving. And of course, I wasn't going to let anybody else around the thing. And I waited for Mike to get up there. And if you notice, if you watch that video back, you'll see I point out a few things and then I move on. And that deal was Mike's. Mike is a video game guy. He's also an action figure guy. So when I come across that stuff, that's going to be his if I'm with him. And most of the time, you know, he does vintage stuff like Betty Boop. So it's kind of like middle of the road, but he was going to let me have that deal. And that's what happened there. But the big controversial part is actually the fact that I put on the end of the video what I found in we paid, I think, $65 for all the Betty Boop stuff. And I found a lunch pail, do I still have it? I think it's in my truck. I don't know where it is at this point because I took the money out of it. And we got it home and we were picturing stuff up to go on eBay. We put some of it on eBay. We put some of it on put some of it on, actually we did put some on comments. Put some of it on dibdit.com live. We made really good money on that. But when we opened that one to picture the inside of it, It was full of $1 bills, $21 bills. And I put that on the video. And boy, people were hot that I didn't give it back. That was well over a month. That was 2 months almost when we found it from when we bought it. Yeah, over 2 months. And people did not believe me. One particular person, and it was here in Virginia. Now, here's the part that may have thrown some people off. I knew that video was coming up, and I was running out of time to get down to Florida. I was busting my butt because I went back to Florida. I just got back last week. And so I took that lunch pail and I threw it in my car, and I knew I was going to edit that video down there. And so when I showed that down there, I was still clearly in Florida. So people thought that that was from that trip. It absolutely was not, and you can see that if you look at all the Betty Boop stuff that we bought that we've already sold on our eBay store. I actually took it back there because I knew I had to film a cut-in to that video and I didn't have time to do it here. And this guy on there was like, oh my gosh, you're such a liar. I saw you at the Palm Coast Goodwill just the other day. You never left Florida. You should have taken it back. So people can believe me, they cannot believe me, but the facts are all out there. You can click through the link in the description and look at my eBay store, and you'll find stuff that I bought at that sale that sold in December. So clearly that video was from November, and the cut-in was filmed just last week. So that's up to people to decide, but I didn't want people thinking that what that person said was true, because he did see me at that. I didn't meet him or anything, but I didn't tell anybody I was at that Palm Coast Goodwill, unless I said it on the Trash to Cash podcast. I think I did say it over there. So he clearly did see me. So he did think that I was lying, but I absolutely was not lying. That doesn't even get to the comments of people who say I should have returned it anyways. But here we go. MediMassager.com. This one came from a house buyout, I believe. How much did we get for this one? Some massagers do well. Yeah, $45 for that one, plus shipping. Listen, if I was at that sale, I would have given that money back immediately. They didn't know it was in there. I absolutely would have done it. I think most people would. Now, that's not a guarantee that most people would, but I think most people would. You've seen me on different videos. I'll find a quarter in a bag and I'll give it back to somebody if I'm there. Now, if I was at Dave's house or something, which is, 40 minutes up the road, I don't think I would do it. I just don't think I would. Plus, I'm not sure I could find the dang place to begin with. Most of the time, if people who pick with me will tell you, I'm not paying attention. I'm doing something else. I'm trying to run some other business or something in between yard sales or talk to people or do whatever. I have no idea. I don't even know what city that thing was in. I have no idea. If I did, if I had an address, I'd send it back. But there's nothing I can do about it at this point, and I don't think there should be any expectation of it at all. Tell me what you think down below. All right, here's a great little tip that I learned from somebody not that long ago, actually. Meaning I've been reselling for 25 years, but I learned this probably less than 10 years ago. And it's so obvious. It's like, why didn't I do that? So somebody bought a VT shirt, 2 VT shirts. Let me make sure, I guess it doesn't matter which ones. Let me show you the prices on these. These were the ones that didn't sell. We sold so much of this. They finally sold at 30% off. These VT shirts sold for, let's see, $68 plus shipping and all. They were all 30% off. So somebody bought 2 of them. I don't know which 2. Let me look at the picture. This one and this one. They bought 2 of them. And a great tip that I learned quite a while ago is if you have, like, somebody buys 2 of something, send them another message and say, hey, I got another one. And say, hey, I'll combine all the shipping. I'll give you a little bit of money off this thing if you buy the 3rd. And that's exactly what happened. The guy bought the 3rd, which is really cool. And we'll combine all that shipping. And you get 3 things out the door really quick. The next one my wife bought. And we were considering taking these off because she's doing polishandbrush.com now over there. And she needed stuff to list over there in her marketplace she shares with Tina and Don. And I just told her, I'm like, look, I find so much stuff all the time. Let's just find some stuff we have in the death pile and get that listed over there and keep everything we have on eBay already on eBay. No sense in doing the work twice. So we did. We have some stuff that you can find on Polish and Brush. But this one I wasn't going to delist. This one my wife picked up at a sale. Whoop. Man. Let me put these back up here for a second. These are kind of shoeish type items. sold. Let's see, I'll just put them in there. So this was something she picked up super cheap at a sale. It was an expensive sale, but it was super cheap because it had a crack in it. She's like, yeah, I think we can get 20, 25 bucks for it. I'm like, okay, whatever. See the crack in it right there? Because these actually go for good money. I don't know how to pronounce this. Bobbyliss. I don't know. I've sold that stuff before, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So she was going to put it in polish and brush, which is basically, you know, cosmetics to curling irons over there. And she's having fun with that. And we listed it over here. It's got a crack here too. So we only got 20 bucks for it. And it's kind of a pain in the butt, but we're making money. Last topic to talk about here. My back is killing me. Again, if you watch my channel, this happens from time to time. I'm doing better than I thought today. Here's the irony. So we got, well, I guess I'll tell you this. You'll see it soon on the Commonwealth Picker channel. I get offers all the time to do ads, and I do very few. I do the upside ads because I use it and I love it. And I shill on this channel for stuff, but putting a 1 minute, 2 minute ad in a picker video, I do it every once in a while, but not too terribly often. Well, my wife wants a new bed. She's wanted one forever. She wanted a king-size bed because I got issues when I sleep. I won't go into all of them. Let's just say I have a hard time going to sleep. I have a hard time staying asleep, and I drive her nuts. So let's just say that. Plus, my back has been poor for years. And so, ironically, getting this new bed so I could do... They offered us a bed to do this ad, and I'm like, man, this is cool. Let's try it out, see if it's good, and I absolutely love it. I don't want to do the commercial on here, but you'll see it on the Commonwealth Picker channel. And my wife was like, yeah, you better do an ad. I was like, okay, we're going to do it. We'll put it out there on the Picker channel. I know some people don't like that, but when your wife says do the ad, do the ad. And I love the bed. However, moving the old bed out, I really jacked up my back. So if you think I'm limping around or something, it's not as bad as I thought. I did my 30 minutes of stretching this morning, and it's not too terrible. We sold another 30% off item. I re-upped that. I let it die for like 3 or 4 days before I started that sale again. I do that often. I got a few sales actually of stuff that was on sale for full price. But this one went on sale, 30% off. We got $18.05 for this Disney sweatshirt. That says Vault Collection, plus shipping. This was a cool hat. I kind of hate that it's leaving, unfortunately, but this is a Masters. Masters is coming up, of course, with the Masters tag, and it says Biltmore in it. Made in Canada, small, medium, in great shape. I was at a sale in Bedford, Virginia. There's not much going on in there. I was really struggling that day. I had gone to Lynchburg and struggled and hit a few on the way back in, and it was bad. And I had one last chance at a sale, and I was driving to that sale, and out of nowhere, this little tiny sale popped up. And I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm going to get 2 sales. So I got out of the car, and I saw this hat sitting there with a 50-cent price tag on it. I'm like, sweet. I figured for sure it was worth 30, 40 bucks maybe. It sold for $42.95 plus shipping. Already pulled these out. Sold some Nike shoes. These, when I used to find, these used to go for like 100 bucks. At least that's what I think they used to go for. Maybe these are a weird size. No, they're pretty good size. Maybe there's a condition issue on them. They're a little worn. But you ever see these? They go for okay money. And these went for 50, I think. No, $45 plus shipping on those. Sold a hat. This one went on 30% off as well. We had like 6 or 7 go 30% off. I remember where I bought this. It was at the Endless Yard Sale in North Carolina. Table full of hats, and I grabbed one for $1. Took me a while actually to dig that one out. I bought it because it looked kind of funky, plus it was a $59.50, but it was well worn, and I did not clean it. And if I did, it would have probably sold full price, but I didn't. This isn't even the right hat. Hold on. This is the right hat. Very similar, $59.50. A little cleaner, but still not cleaned. And it sold on discount, sold for $13.96 plus shipping. Thought it might be a viewer, but it's not. It just says, please include tracking, which is automated. Next one's super cool. I bought this from a lady that is a reseller that I'm familiar with, and she watches the channel, the Commonwealth Picker channel. And I paid $10 for them, thinking I could get 25 to 30, which is not something I normally do, but she was super sweet, and they're cool. It's Donnie Marie dolls. I mean, come on, y'all. I think this is like an alternate style. I didn't get near what I thought I could, but I still got on discount, so it was priced much higher, but we sold it for $21 plus shipping. So not near as much as I thought, but you know what? We're, 10 into 21. It's not like we're losing money, and that lady was nice, and I'm glad we could do it. Sold a Squishmallow. Look at that. Sold a Squishmallow and a Funko Pop in the same day. And I don't think I wrote down one viewer sale. If you remember the last video, we had like tons of them. It was crazy. So this gets us back to our normal, 20% maybe for viewer sales. So this one right here. By the way, let me just tell you this one first. $9.80 plus shipping. That was also on 30% off. Paid $1 for it. I don't make habit of buying Squishmallows and Funko Pops, but when they're the right ones, I'll pick them up if they're the right price. I hang a bunch of shirts up inside, but sometimes when I get one still in the package, it goes in here. Cabela's. This, I think, if I remember, is this Pima cotton? I think it is. Made in Peru. I don't know if it is or not. Oh, it says pumice on there. That's probably why I thought that. Cabela's can be okay, especially when it's new. $34.95 plus shipping. All right, y'all. I have created a big mess. I've been shipping. Reagan just got home from gymnastics, and we didn't have a sale out of CommonwealthPicker.com, but we normally sell Animan and stuff, so I figured this would be good. These are out of Dibdit.com, and one person bought them. So you've got, what is that from?
Stitch.
Leo. That's right, Leo and Stitch. And then the Animan Christmas ornament.
Yep.
Who bought them?
K-Love.
K-Love bought them. So thank you for that purchase. You can still give them your shout out, though.
Bye, and don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Sold a Kevin Nash skull cap. I think those are running low. Yep, there you go. 11.15 or something weird like that. And I sold a Scooby. These are to two different people. I sold for 10. Both of these are free shipping, but they're super easy, so we had multi-quantity. We're making a little bit of money. I have to show you this next one. It's a, something, Ashton Drake, I think is what it is. Cindy McClure. It's a Hugapoo. I bought this quite a while ago. I knew it would be a slow seller. I just thought it was super cool, and I walked away from it at first. The guy had $5 on it, and I'm like, this thing's only going for like 19. It's slow sell-through rate. I don't really want to buy it. Let me open it for you. Hold on. I don't want to break it. You can see I got this. This is actually going to be in a video coming up. I couldn't believe it. I bought it because my back was killing me in Florida when I was in the truck. And I looked it up, and I'm like, holy moly, those things go for good money. Here it is. So I walked away from it at $5. And the guy's like, oh, just take it. I don't remember if I paid a couple bucks or what I did. I'm like, all right. And it still took forever to sell. But sold for $18.95 plus shipping. This was another 30% off item. I bought these. There was multiples of them in Arizona when I went to go visit my brother last year. And they were Champion vintage, and they were $5. And I think I bundled together, maybe got them for $3 or something. There was like 3 of them, I think, if I recall. And I thought they do really well. They're plain Jane, but they're in excellent condition. They're Champion, but there's nothing Champion on the outside. So it's, people like to have that logo on the outside. So it didn't sell. But we're still making money. 30% off, sold for $21. $21 plus shipping. So that didn't turn out to be a great buy, but I still like it. All right, y'all. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Hopefully your eBay sales are going well, or wherever you sell. We appreciate you stopping by as usual. And I can't wait to see you